Welcome to the HR Looks Trade Fair podcast, the podcast that explores the behind the scenes of human resources. But first, let me introduce our two guests of the day, Virginie Boyard and Gérard Sines from the company Vistim, both co-founders and partners. Hi, both of you. How are you?
Hello, very good, thank you.
Hi, Celine. Very fine. Thanks for having us.
Okay, great. So let's start now with the three questions. And the first one I have for you is, why did you choose to participate in the HR Looks Trade Fair this year?
Well, we gave conferences last year already, and we had a very positive experience. The audience was large, it was very much qualified. We felt we were talking to HR professionals, and the exchanges we had were very interesting. So it's only natural that we renew our participation this year.
Okay, so to be honest, I really appreciate when I can hear this kind of comments, because it means that the HR Looks Trade Fair is really useful for the HR professional. So thanks so much.
Absolutely.
So the second question, because you're talking about conferences, and thus I would like to speak about that because you will hold two conferences at the fair. So can you give us an overview of what you will be discussing at your trade show conference?
Certainly, we'll be talking about attracting and retaining employees. It's a debated topic that shows how much this is a challenge for companies in our current environment. We want to focus on what really makes the difference. We want to focus on what really changes the perception of candidates and employees over the long term within our Luxembourg context. And we want to really emphasize the need to anchor the debate in the corporate strategies.
Okay, and it's true that we're talking a lot about attracting talent, but what I really like in what you said is that you really want to make the focus on the specificity of something quite different. So I'm sure that it will be of interest to a lot of people. And thus, because I'm sure that we will ask you the question, but can you share examples of how you assisted companies in turning these abstract concepts into concrete actions?
Yes. What we do in the first step always is to assess whether a company has an interest in working on the attraction side, or whether there are still first some fixes to be done on the retention aspect. We can do very attractive concepts to be heard and visible and appreciated on the candidate market, but if we can't retain people, those efforts will be with little result for the company. So what we start with is with an engagement survey in the companies, which allows us to really pinpoint the key priorities to focus on in order to improve. Engagement is what will have a very strong impact on retention, but also on employees looking out for candidates and recommending candidates to work for the company. And it's amazing when you dig into the data of those surveys, how precise you can be to identify clear priorities for companies to work on. And once identified, then of course we roll out activities and an action plan on how to address those. So the first step is that we assess, are we working first on retention, or are we going right away for attraction on the outside market?
Okay, so based on what you just said, is it correct if I say that you have a tailor-made approach?
Absolutely, because for every company, the results of such an engagement survey point to different priorities, different topics that pop up. It can be a problem in gender balance. It can be a problem linked to a certain hierarchical level, or maybe to lengths of service. Sometimes you observe companies, people are very engaged when they start, but engagement drops quite quickly. So what's going to be put in place and what's going to be worked on is tailor-made to the company. And it is important also to take that step, because there are very successful approaches in the market, but they work very well for a given company. and just copy pasting them does not guarantee the same results in a different context.
Yeah, I fully agree with that point, because what works for a company doesn't work for another one. So for sure. Okay, so I think that's it. That's it for today, and I would like to thank you again for joining us for this podcast. And to all our listeners, do not forget to note in your calendars the Vistim conference at 11:30 a.m. for the French version, and also at 1 p.m. for the English one. So it will be on March 14 at the EECL in Luxembourg. So thanks a lot to Gérard and Virginie, and see you in 1 month.
Thank you, Céline. See you soon.
See you all on March 14th. Bye-bye.
Bye.